All right, y'all. Let's talk about it. Demons and horror.
TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
I don't know if y'all have noticed by my content lately, but I am a horror head, a horror aficionado, a horror connoisseur, a horror snob, if you will. I love horror movies, and today I wanted to do a video that broke down my top 10 favorite depictions of demons in horror movies. Now, I just want to be clear. This is my top 10 as of right now. The list is fluent. The list is fluid. It could change at any moment, but most of these people will always be on my top list. Most of these movies, most of these entities, most of whatever, they will be on this top 10 list because they've been solidified. And I also want to give y'all a fair warning. There will be no Conjuring universe involved in this. There will be no Insidious universe involved with picking this ranking because, in all honesty, I believe those films are corny. They're corny, bro. I'm sorry. But, anyways, let's get to it, man. Before I start my list, I also want to say I grew up in church, man. So as a horror head, through my early childhood years, I spent in church. And the one thing that always scared me the most was demons, the devil. And it was always the most interesting. The choices that come with it, the manipulation. There's so many layers that come with demons and horror, demonic horror, whatever you want to call it. And today I want to break down my top 10. So let's get ready to rumble, man. Top 10 demons and horror. My number 10. He almost didn't make the list because I tried to keep this as modern as possible, because I feel like that can be a list for another, anything before 2015 can be a list for another day. But I can't not put him in the list, man. As a child, I used to run to the trash can to take the trash out at night and run back just because of one specific scene in this movie that we'll talk about. But my number 10, he only made number 10 because he's so far back. Freddy Krueger.
Oh, so you are afraid of something after all, huh?
Don't leave. Shout out to my boy Zaffy. Don't leave. I just got to say, Freddy Krueger, bro, this guy is literally encapsulates the term demon time. That boy is a problem, man. If you haven't seen the first Nightmare on Elm Street, we're not talking about anything after the first Nightmare on Elm Street because that is where Freddy shines the most. The first Nightmare on Elm Street. He is a man who makes a deal with some type of entity after dying to come back to life and to attack the children he was torturing while he was alive. That's demonic alone, right? And while he was alive, man, a human being, it's arguable that he was as evil as he was when he's a dream demon. He just has more ability to do more shit. He's a PDF. He's a child murderer. I mean, what wasn't Freddy? Even out of all the slasher icons, he's still considered the most vile. And if you don't believe me, look at scenes like this.
Watch this.
And remember when I said that I was running to the trash can at night as a child to take the trash out? It was because of this scene. Come on, man. The arm stretching scene. Bro, this guy is doing all types of things with his body. He's disappearing, reappearing. He affects you in your dreams, man. The only thing you can't do with Freddy that you can do with most of the other people on this list is make a deal. And in all honesty, he's a legend, cultural icon, played by Robert Englund, destroys it, kills it. I can't, what can I say? It's Freddy, man. It's Freddy Krueger. My number 10. Okay, let's keep it moving. My number 9, it will have to be Satan and the Witch Coven in Lords of Salem. I know. Y'all was probably not expecting a movie like this to make the list, but that should let you know where I'm at with it. Lords of Salem is arguably Rob Zombie's best movie, in my opinion. Devil's Rejects, classic. House of a Thousand Corpses, classic. But this movie brings the sadistic nature, the warped visuals, just anything bad that you would think the devil or demons represent. Rob Zombie encapsulate that in this film completely well. The lead actress, Sherry Moon Zombie, is basically a radio personality. Now she would be a podcaster in 2026. And she comes across this, what we say, a record player, a record from the Lords of Salem, a rock group, supposedly. They play the record live, crazy stuff starts to happen, and we find out that there's a witch coven involved, right? There are specific scenes in this film that will never, ever leave my mind. And I'm going to do my best to try to throw these in there without being demonetized because, bro, there's some dark, really dark imagery in this. And the form of Satan that they show, I believe the witch coven is already enough to get me there. The witch coven is already enough. But there's a form of Satan they show because throughout the movie, there's a apartment complex that this lead antagonist lives in. And she is down the hall from another apartment that is completely empty, supposedly. But we see people going through this, doors open at night. You know what I mean? And one part of the movie, she wanders into this apartment, and she is met, and probably some things are done to her by the devil. And this version of the devil is something I haven't seen before. They don't show him fully, but he seems overbrooding, huge, furry. He had fur all over his body. I don't know if that was meant to depict like a lion or something like that, but that alone, it gets me there, man. Pause. But outside of that, there's another scene towards the end of the film. I don't want to give the end away, but hey, spoilers, man. You got to expect spoilers when I'm talking about top 10 horror movie demons. There's a scene at the end, the climax of the film. The coven is involved. The devil is involved. Other demons may be involved. A lot of blasphemy is involved. Now, as far as historical accuracy goes, I don't know if Rob Zombie researched as much as other directors like Robert Eggers, other directors we may speak on throughout this video, but there are scenes that I can't even explain. In the ending alone, it's just, bro, it gets you there. It literally had me shook. That eerie feeling that you feel like something is walking with you, I left I felt that after I saw Lords of Salem. So that will be my number 9. Let's get to number 8, y'all. All right, y'all. So my number 8, a legend in horror in recent years. He is one we've seen a lot, but for some reason he's not spoken about. I don't know why. It comes from one of the most profitable horror franchises ever. We're gonna go with Toby from Paranormal Activity. Roll the clip.
He's alive now, Mommy. He's real, just like you and me.
Stay away from us. Stay away from us. Go. Please, you got what you wanted. You got what you wanted.
Hi, Toby.
All right, y'all. Toby, man. What can I say? He would be ranked higher in this top 10 demon movies if it wasn't for the abysmal Paranormal Activity 5 or 6, whatever came after the marked ones. They ruined Toby's whole persona using 3D imagery, giving him a face that just was trash. I believe they should have literally, if when you reveal Toby in that final Paranormal Activity before the new Paranormal Activity that involves a whole new demon, if you reveal Toby, I feel like he should have been revealed like this, like a complete Baphomet, a complete goat's head, wings. That's how you should have did it, which, you know, I don't know why they didn't do that. They went with some CGI fake imagery trash. But outside of that, throughout this series, Toby is petty. He's conniving. He's evil. He's brooding, overbearing. He's everywhere. And he does one thing I believe the best top 10 horror movie demons do. He weighs in on the family, man. That's what Toby does. He breaks down the family dynamic. The story centers around two characters, two sisters, Katie and Christy. And throughout the 5 films, we go back in time with them, literally. Spoilers. We go forward in time with them. We see things happen simultaneously with these sisters. But one thing remains the same. The coven, which is also a very interesting dynamic, and Toby. Toby also, he takes over Katie's body. So the iconic Katie, who is the leader, who we would say would be the face of the Paranormal Activity franchise, is Toby. Toby is within her, and he's also within her as a child. He's within her sister Katie throughout childhood. He's affecting this family from their childhood until their deaths or until their possessions, whatever you call it. There's a specific scene in the marked ones. To me, this is the best version. Paranormal Activity 3 and Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, are the best versions of Toby on camera. And Paranormal Activity 4, I can't lie. Let's show you a couple scenes that Toby has, and we can see why he's all these things that make my list possible. Let's start with Paranormal Activity 3.
Nothing happened.
You turned the light on too soon.
Come on, Katie, this is stupid.
No. You can't leave.
Let's just go play doll battles or something.
No, you didn't do it right.
What did I not do right?
You need to keep the light off longer.
Okay. I just scratched myself for a second. Oh.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. It's okay. Nothing. Close the door. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. You okay? You okay? That's all right. Oh, dear God. And you're fine. I'm fine.
You see this? Like, Toby is affecting these little kids. He's torturing these kids. He has no qualms with hurting a child. And to me, that's horrific. That's horrendous. Honestly, bro, I'm recording this. I got a mirror behind me. I got to look in the back mirror to make sure Toby ain't, breathing on my neck, Yeah, he's a menace. There's scenes in the movie where he's talking to the kids away from their parents. So he's putting things in these children's ear that Lord knows what he's telling them to do or what he's imposing on them, the impression he's putting on them. That alone is completely horrific and sadistic because it's so much easier to affect the kid and change how they view things as they grow in age. But then the brooding side of Toby, boy, there's scenes in this movie where he's snapping necks, tossing people across buildings, breaking people's backs in half. And specifically this scene in Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. Toby he's huge. They show a shadow of him running towards our lead antagonist, and Toby is ridiculously huge. Pause. I don't know what we're doing in this video. We're just having fun.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
But Toby will have to go as my number 8, man. I'm sorry. He has to. He's a legend. All right, my number 7. I'd rank my number 7 higher if I knew it was fully demonic possession. There are other movies in this list, other demons in this list that seem to prey on mental illness. And this movie specifically is like the religious taxi driver. It's like the religious version of Taxi Driver. Saint Maud. What more can I say? The leader in this, the lead actress in this, Milford Clark, I think that's her name. Mortabella, tutti frutti.
Mamma mia! God, your house. Magnifico! Mortabella, tutti frutti.
She is fine, right? But more so than that, let's get all outside that. We're losing track. But she plays a character who seems to be, spiraling throughout the film. She's came from some specific tragedy that is very, very disturbing, by the way. And one I haven't seen necessarily done on film prior. If you haven't seen Saint Maud, go see it. I'm not going to spoil it because this movie it suffered during the pandemic. It didn't get the major release it deserved. So I feel like a lot of people haven't seen it. Another A24 classic. But I'm going to spoil one thing. We're going to talk about the demon that this may be. This scene literally is reminiscent to another demon scene in this list that we will get to later on. But I got to say, man, let's roll the scene, man. I can't say anything.
Fy mhlentyn, mae'r awr yn nesau. Yn fuan fe fyddwn ymuno ar coflediad mawr. Wyt ti'n gwybod ers amser mae gêm yn unig yw'r byd hon? Dy fywyd, plentyndod, mam, dad. Roeddet ti'n medru teimlo fod yna rhywbeth mwy. A'r cyfan o ddymuned oedd cael ei gyffwrdd. Rydw i'n falch dy fod wedi dod mor bell. Rydw i'n falch ohono ti.
All right. So y'all see that? This girl could possibly be having seizures and things of that nature. And she is wondering if what she's doing is right? And something comes to her at night and speaks, I believe, Hebrew, ancient Hebrew to her in the most warped, dark voice. And she believes it's God. Me personally, I don't think God is going to come to you like that. I'm sorry. But this scene is so disturbing. We never see this demon's face. We don't see anything about this demon. We only hear the voice of the demon, which tells her that she's on the right path and she's doing the right thing. And if you know, the path she's on is definitely destructive and dark and ending in some horrific tragedy. But I also want to talk about how the demon is seen throughout the film when tragedy happens and things happen, but he's seen as a roach. He's depicted as a roach on the wall. That right there is dark to me. That right there is scary to me. These are things that are just around you. They're like a shadow upon you. They are sitting beside you. Milford Clark does a great portrayal of Saint Maud. And I also want to say the demon's voice that you see is her voice toned down. They use whatever diction changer they needed to use. So it also plays with the mental health aspect of it all, that, is she just imagining this? Is this, things that are coming up in her own mind? So that's the only reason I don't rank it higher than, other movies in this film. I believe it really could stand in the top 6, maybe, but we're going to stick to that. All right, y'all. Number 6, a very recent film played by a great actor, man. And I'm happy to put him in here. We're going to have to go with Longlegs, man.
Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo.
Okay, so I get it. Y'all are saying, well, Longlegs isn't a demon, technically. He is a man who's basically completing the will of a demon. But I would beg to differ. I believe Longlegs is an actual demon. He shows signs of supernatural ability throughout the movie Longlegs. And he's just sadistic, bro. He is a sick man. I believe the backstory of Longlegs is that he was a guy from the 70s who basically wanted to be in grunge rock, or that era of rock that you have the long hair, the shiny guitar, and maybe it didn't work out, or maybe it did. Maybe he sold us over this, but at some point by Longlegs, he's a sick child murderer, maybe. I don't know if we call him a murderer. We don't know what he's done outside of Longlegs. I'd assume this guy has sacrificed some kids. He would have had. I don't see how. There are many scenes within the most horrifying scenes. Besides the point, the devil actually is in the movie. His shadow shows up in the movie a million times. Nicolas Cage carries the weight of the portrayal of Satan. There's just a lot of quotes he says in this that leave me wondering what he means. I know it means something. Sometimes I want to go on Reddit and just look all this shit up because I know it means something. I know there has to be some deeper meanings to that interrogation scene, because there are things that he says that makes no sense, but maybe there's somewhere in the Bible or something like that. But this guy is just a creep, all around a creep. He's doing the devil's work. Period. He's responsible for the deaths of many, many children. And overall, I said this list should involve performance. Performance is a point. If I didn't say that's like a main point. Even though there's no real historical accuracy, as far as I know, in the person Longlegs, he reminds me of people like the Son of Sam killer, who said that his dog was possessed by the devil and made him do it. Whether you believe it or not, or you believe he believed it or not, just the idea of Longlegs is insane. A guy who's living life, barely living life, because he looks like ridiculously crazy. He looks crazy. But a guy who's actually in the flesh, who is filling out the devil's will, who's doing the devil's deeds. Like I said, he's responsible for the death of many families. Many families, and he's doing it all in the devil's name. Doesn't look like he's received anything. It doesn't look like he lives a great life. It doesn't look anything like that. But how can I not put him in here? Nicolas Cage literally is the reason why I'm putting him in here. This performance, he probably has less than 25 minutes of screen time, I believe, and I believe that is how you get the best version of a villain or demon devil like that. Like, most of these performances in my top 10 and most of the depictions, the devil is on screen for less than 20 minutes usually, because less is more in horror, man. Less is more, unless more is right, unless you do more right. So I gotta put Nicolas Cage in here. That scene where he walks on the girl and it's like, whatever the fuck that shit is crazy, bro. That shit is crazy. And Michael Monroe, also a legend, man. I got a lot of stock in her as an actor. So we're going to throw Longlegs in there right there. All right. My number 5. And one of my favorite films of the last 10 years. I have to go with Mother Suspiriorum from Suspiria. Played by Dakota Johnson. Oh, that's a spoiler. Oh, well, if you haven't seen this movie, come on, man. This movie came out in like 2018, man. What are we doing, man? I saw this movie in theaters. This movie alone is a masterpiece. I'm sorry. It's a masterpiece. It's very long and it's very dark and it's very disturbing. There are some disturbing scenes in this. Just like the girl, the ballerina scene, disturbing, bro. Throw it in there. Throw half of it in there, maybe. But this movie, the reveal, once you realize Dakota Johnson is Mother Suspiriorum, there's a scene where the coven that has basically tried to usurp power Mother Marcos, Mother Helena. When we find out they're fighting for this power, it's a power struggle between these witch covens at this ballerina studio. They're sacrificing their students. They're sacrificing their students. They're grown women, but they're still sacrificing them. There's a scene where Mother Suspiriorum reveals herself as Dakota Johnson, and she summons, I would say, another version of herself, but a dark demon, leading to this all-out bloody masterpiece of a scene that is accompanied by some Tom York music. Oh my God, Unmade. If you haven't heard it, go listen to Unmade by Tom York. Crazy. But this scene, I put her in this because her level of power has to be insane. By the time she realizes who she is, she's doing things like wiping memories. Like she's just popping up in places. She's doing whatever she wants. She's defying the laws of gravity and everything. But specifically because of that final scene, that final bloody, disgusting scene, I gotta put her in there. She claims herself to be, the movie wants you to think that Mother Suspiriorum is just a higher power. And I can see where they're coming from, but based off of my rules and my faith, I'm gonna call that a demon. I'm sorry, I can't not call Mother Suspiriorum a demon. What more can I say? Dakota Johnson, bad as hell in this. She deserved Oscar nods for this. I believe an Oscar nomination. The director deserved an Oscar nomination. Of course, horror doesn't get that. But yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, even if you don't want to watch the movie, just go look up the scene. You'll find it somewhere, man. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And it's also very, very dark and disturbing. So I got to put her there, man. Dakota Johnson as Mother Suspiriorum has to go as one of the best demons in horror. All right, my number 5. I believe I'm at number 5. Will have to be. Oh man, I guess this counts as not modern as well, but there are modern movies made for this. It will have to be the Cenobites from Hellraiser.
Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
These guys are real life demons. Now they may not serve the Satan that we know of in Christian terminology, or the religious beliefs that are modern in our era, but they serve something. They're like Leviathan. I don't know, bro. The Deadites are these demons who literally relish and enjoy pain. They treat pain like pleasure. And which this to me is more historically accurate of what a demon would be, because if you're in hell and you're a demon, you're being tortured 24 hours a day. At some point, I don't know how demons get their rank up in the Demon Blood Gang or Demon Crips. I don't know how they get their rank up, but all I know is demons would probably be the people who administered and received the most torture, because that's what hell is supposed to be. Hell is supposed to be a place of no peace, torture, pain, agony. And to me, just by their makeup, their costumes, Pinhead, Chatterbox, these demons, they visualize agony. Pinhead, I believe Pinhead is one of the most iconic depictions of a demon in horror film as well. Even if he doesn't have the best movies, just if the demons didn't, if a demon wants to show up and not be in complete horns, I would have to say this would be the alternative to what a great depiction of them would be. I actually just watched the first 3 Hellraisers recently, and I gotta say, bro, they go left, but they are very, very good. Wild but good. And another thing that these Cenobites, they kind of prey on is people's desires. So sexual desires and all these things are all involved in the pleasure, the pain, just the idea of Cenobites. And to me, that's what a demon is. They warp things that are bad, good. They warped them all into one thing. So I gotta put the Cenobites in there, man. They deserve it. They deserve it. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. So my number 3 demons depicted in horror movies. Oh man, this is where it starts to get fun for me because I'm going off of the modern version of these demons. No offense to the OG fans, but to me, from 2013 on, these movies are very, very eerie. And although they're B-level movies, the reason why they're good and the reason why they're sold is based off of these demonic performances. We're gonna go with the Deadites from Evil Dead.
To your perfect family. Cheers.
Jane Levy, I can't remember the girl's name from Evil Dead Rise, and the new girl from Evil Dead Burn, which I just saw in theater about a week ago. These portrayals of demons are top tier, man. Jane Levy as 2013 Evil Dead Mia, bro. Her possession scenes, I'm gonna put at least 2 of her possession scenes in this video because she kills it, bro. Let's start off with this one. Yeah, exactly. You see how dark that is? You see how eerie that is? Imagine if that shit is looking at you through the cellar. What are you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? Exactly, bro. Like, bro, what do you do with that, man? That's real life demon shit. And I also gotta say, this scene in Evil Dead Rise.
Mommy's with the maggots now.
Bruh, if my mom did that, that's the only time I'm cooked. I feel like in a horror movie, I would outlast everything. But if my mom does that, we cooked, bro, because that's the thing with demons in this franchise. They torture you by using the people you love, bro. That's the scary part about them. They turn into the people you love that pass. They use your secrets against you. They use your shortcomings against you. That's real life manipulation. They're dark. They're extremely powerful. And they toy with you. They play with you. They're having fun with this. The gore in this movie, crazy. Now, although there's no historical accuracy, as far as I know, with the Deadites, except for maybe the Book of the Dead, some things like that have been mythology. There's not much of historical accuracy, but who needs it when you got characters like this, bro? For the past 3 Evil Dead movies, they have nailed these Deadites, man. But in my opinion, my favorite would have to be Jane Levy in 2013 Evil Dead. She has so many scenes. Another one like this.
David? David? I can't move. I can't breathe. David! Why do you hate me, David? I know you do. You left home. You left me all alone. You made me lie. Every time she screamed, I know Mother hates you now. And she waits for you in hell.
Bro, imagine you looking back and you see that. Come on, bro. Come on. You wouldn't be scared. Exactly. You'd be scared. You'd be horrified, man. These demons don't make you want to sell your soul to them. They make you want to kill yourself to get away from them. So I'm going to put the Deadites in Evil Dead. They are my top 3. I can't help it, man. I'm very happy to have been able to add them on the list because they deserve it, you know. Let's go. So my number 2. This is a hard decision to make because my number 2 demon comes from my number 1 movie of all time. My favorite movie of all time has to be Paimon from Hereditary.
Hail Paimon! Hail Paimon! Hail Paimon! Hail!
All right, y'all. I gotta start with this, man. First off, this movie alone changed my whole perception of horror movies, changed my whole perception of films. This movie made me a horror snob. I always grew up around movies. I loved horror movies. I loved all films, but this created my appetite for extreme horror. This created my appetite for dark horror. This is one of the very few movies that in theaters, I literally saw the whole crowd go silent. I saw people put their hands over their mouth.
You just, what the f? What? No, 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 no. I can't do this. I can't watch this. Oh, this is so bad.
Oh my God!
Oh, show! That no freaking way. No freaking way. No, no, no.
I've never seen a theater go that silent in my life. We gotta say, Paimon from Hereditary, bro. He's the one, bro. He's one of the ones. One of the 7 kings of hell. This motherfucker is mischievous, extremely mischievous, extremely dark, extremely brutal. And he plays with the spirit. When I told you earlier, the best horror movies break down the family dynamic. The goal of the demon is to break down the family, which would make the most sense in religious aspect because the family is like the church. The demon breaks down the family. He can get whatever he wants. And that's what Paimon does throughout this film. And I always felt like horror didn't do that well until I watched this movie. Man, bro. Like, what do I say? First off, Toni Collette and whatever dude's name is, Peter, whatever. I can't remember his name is. The guy who plays Peter. I don't know what his real name is. I can't remember his real name. Those two depict Paimon so well that it's actually disturbing on another level. I left the theaters, went home, and I felt this movie over my body. I felt the weight of this movie over my body for weeks to come. Paimon is also accompanied with this, I don't know if I can, this click thing that is done throughout the film to let you know when someone is either near Paimon, well, Paimon is near them, or he's possessed them. Paimon is a demon that he uses money. He allures people with things, but he's also followed with a cult. There's a cult behind Paimon. The cult of Paimon is an entity that is also in this movie that literally moves pieces around this board. The thing about Paimon that is scary, he's inevitable in this movie. There is no happy ending in sight. There never was going to be a happy ending because Paimon has already decided. He's already moved the pieces to where they're going to be. That's why the dollhouse imagery and things like that throughout this movie is accurate. They are all in a dollhouse. And although I believe they had a chance to save themselves if they would have spoke, this is why this is also a family drama of a movie, which is the perfect thing. It's the perfect thing to create a horror movie using demons with, because the family drama is what allows Paimon to slither his way through and affect everyone, picking them off one by one. Toni Collette is basically deteriorating throughout the film. The young child is already possessed with Paimon during her birth. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. I said spoilers about 5 times. Y'all got to accept this. Paimon is using death. And by the way, he uses rituals. And his rituals involve heads. So I don't know if it's 5 or it might be like 5 heads he needs to fully be able to become Paimon. But it seems like during these beheadings, his spirit, Payman and the human whose body it is, their spirits are released. I don't know where the human body goes, but it makes Payman, I don't know where the human spirit goes, but it makes Payman stronger, is what it seems like. Towards the end, when Payman is displaying some of his actual power, it's crazy, bro. We're just gonna put a couple scenes in here from Toni Collette.
Mom, please stop! Mom, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry! Mommy, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you to stop.
Like, come on, man. Come on, man. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? He's levitating across the room. Payman, imagine, Payman could have been right here on my ceiling. Just like, bro, that's scary. That is horror. That is the things I expect to see when I see a demon. We never fully see Payman's body. We only see him inside the body of a human being. So we don't know what his form fully looks like. But I would imagine it's pretty damn disturbing. The pictures that they show throughout the film are also extremely historically accurate. They changed the sign. The sign of Payman is almost accurate too, but they changed the sign because I believe they felt like they were cutting it too close. As much dark stuff there is in this movie, and as dark as it gets, I understand why they changed the sign of Payman, the symbol of Payman, to something. I think they used one less or added one more loop to the symbol, which, hey, man, do what you got to do to not end up like movies like Poltergeist, where the films seem to actually be cursed. But yeah, I can rave all day. Ari Aster, man, this is his best movie, man. I know he's gone left. I know he's gone into other films. Beau is Afraid. Eddington is one of my favorite movies of 2025. I believe it came out in 2025. Yeah, Eddington is one of my favorite. But Hereditary will always be his best film, with Midsommar being a second best, in my opinion. Bro, this movie is dark as it gets. It's as hopeless as it gets. And to me, this is an advertisement from the demon. Demons want you to think life is hopeless. Demons want you to think there is no hope. There is no faith. There is no looking forward. It all ends here. And he basically succeeds at that. So I'm going to have to put Payman as my number 2. And my number 1, what we've all been waiting for, it has to be Black Phillip from The Witch, man. Come on, man.
Sam?
If you have not seen The Witch, I'm spoiling it. I'm sorry. I don't care. The movie came out in like 2016. Okay. But paired with Hereditary, this is the movie that created my horror awakening. These two movies, Hereditary, The Witch, that's why they're 1 and 2. And their depictions of demons are so crazy, bro. Black Phillip, keep in mind, another movie where the devil is accompanied by a witch coven or a cult of sorts. Basically, this movie centers around a family who the father, the dumbass dad, has too much pride and basically gets his family excommunicated from the rest of society, the religious society they live in. And they are sent to the woods to, create a new life, build their own commune, whatever you want to call it. Now, the reason why this movie is so impactful, because Robert Eggers is known to be a historical, history is very high when he makes a horror movie. It's very high in consideration. All of his horror movies usually have some sort of historical accuracy. The Lighthouse, The Witch, The Northman, all of these movies all have historical accuracy. And I'm excited to see Werewolf by him as well. But we're talking about The Witch today, the Vivitch. Anya Taylor-Joy plays a great character because she's not bad. She's actually a good person, and everything is against her. You know, the father is really the problem. He has too much pride. Pride comes before the fall. Pride is the downfall of this family. And, you know, when you're the father, you are supposed to lead your family. He leads his family into darkness instead of leading them into light. They are sent to the woods, and seeing that Robert Eggers uses accuracy with his folklore and stuff, he uses historical accuracy. Throughout history, the woods have been known to be a place where witches, demons lurk. The rabbit, the hare, the fox. These are all things that have been known to be synonymous with demons and the devil. And throughout this movie, Robert Eggers breaks down why a person would sell their soul or would, you know, go down that path, especially during that time. And it's sad to say, we understand why Anya Taylor-Joy does this, but the movie's not about her. This video is not about her. The movie's about her. This video is not about her. This video is about Black Phillip. Oh, man. Because Black Phillip is literal Satan. But he is, throughout this film, a goat. He's portrayed as a goat who's with the family. He's actually a goat with the family. And the whole time he's actually talking to, there's two twin kids, maybe 5 or 4. This is one of the only few times I've ever seen them actually do this in a horror movie, where the demon, the entity, is bargaining with the children, the young children that can't even really make the decision for themselves. That, to me, is the darkest shit in this movie. Black Phillip is toying with the family, and he's making things happen. He's killing the children. He's doing all these things with no regard, no care, but he knows what it's leading to. There are several scenes in this movie where Black Phillip either shows up in a dream. I'm calling him Black Phillip because he's the devil. He either shows up in a dream, he does something actual in real life that's just completely dark and devious, or the final scene, which we'll talk about. But before we talk about the final scene, we got to talk about how the actual goat, Black Phillip, that they used, the goat that they used was extremely hard to work with. They said it was one of the hardest animals to work with, you know, in the film, or I think in any film. And that just goes to show how evil this character is. Even the damn goat started taking his role extra serious, you know. But there's one specific scene that Black Phillip does. There's one specific scene that makes him the demon of all demons. And we're going to play it right here.
Black Phillip, I conjure thee to speak to me. Speak as thou dost speak to Jonas and Mercy. Dost thou understand my English tongue? Answer me.
What dost thou want?
What canst thou give?
Wouldst thou like the taste of butter? A pretty dress? Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Yes.
Wouldst thou like to see the world?
What will you from me?
Dost thou see a book before thee? Remove thy shift.
I cannot write my name.
I will guide thy hand.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason why this is the best depiction, number one, the voice, bro. If the devil was to come to you and ask you to sell your soul, do you think he'd come with horns? And no, he'd come as something that sounds enticing. And I believe for the voice actor who plays Satan when he reveals himself. I believe it's some Norwegian like model. And yeah, bro sounds sexy, man. Pause. Definitely does. But lines like "I will guide thine hand," that is insane, bro, because that symbolizes so much. That is her giving away her autonomy. She believes throughout the film. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Manipulation is another key point. She believes, and even the audience, even critics believe that this film is somehow a woman's agency being given back to her. I understand that, you know, the Salem witch trials, just everything women have gone through throughout history. I understand that. And it would make sense why a lot of women would join these type of covens, these type of, you know, evil things, because what they're getting at home and throughout life already is just completely, you know, it's bad already. So why not go join something that can give you some power? But the Anya Taylor-Joy's character will be damned. She will after she dies, she will have damnation because of the historical accuracy. We have to say that she would be going to hell. She would be going to hell, right? She throughout the end of the film, after she signs her soul to the devil. I mean, what more can I say? She sells her soul to the devil. She gives it all up, and he kills her whole family in the process. And when she has nothing left, that's when he finally reveals himself to her. That's key manipulation. Robert Eggers makes Black Phillip one of the best and most iconic interpretations of the devil I've ever seen in history without ever showing his face, man. I could say so much more, man. There's so many scenes, man. And in the credits, we might roll a scene or two. But Black Phillip takes the cake. Number one, even over Payman. The actual king of hell, man. The best ranked demon in all of horror films, Black Phillip. That's my top 10 ranking. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. I got more work coming to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Let's go.